Alrighty, Dante. It has been lovely chatting with you so far this afternoon. I would love to just further discuss your professional experience, really going over your resume here, Dante, to kind of highlight your previous roles and titles as well, right? You've worked as a proposal coordinator, excuse me. You've worked as a division director. You've worked in, accounts payable, accounts receivable as a bilingual or staffing manager. So, your background's extensive. You have transferable skills in all aspects. So tell me a little bit about yourself, Dante. Let me give you the mic so you can highlight your skills. Tell me a little bit about your professional experience.
Thank you so much. Thank you for the opportunity. I have a really extensive set of skills. I started working since before I even turned 18, being bilingual from immigrant parents. I've always had the desire to push myself and to, in every single aspect of any career that I touch, to be the best. That's my goal in any position. If it's management, starting, entry, my goal is to be the best, and that's what I strive for, excellence. In my proposal coordinator position, for example, I went in hard. I was trying to make changes. I was trying to make improvements towards the process, and I also worked with several of my the family-owned people in the company to be able to provide new ideas to make the process more streamlined. I work closely with the city as well to ensure um, that all of the bids that we were actually given that turned into contracts were fulfilled in a timely manner. I worked with the construction crews. I worked with the cleaning crews to ensure that everything worked in a schedule. And that actually helped make the company a marginally increased profit, which is, what everybody wants to see. The company is what keeps all of us employed, and it's what gives us opportunity to be able to grow and also feed our families, feed ourselves. So if we go hard and help the company grow, we grow with it. So that's what I was shown in every single part of every career that I have experience with, and that's what I hope to do with this company as well.
Absolutely. And that was very, very well said. It seems like you're very passionate as far as what you put out there is definitely received. So I commend you for that, Dante. And again, thank you for giving me a clear explanation as far as what your background is, as well as the proposal coordinator in your previous role. I want to touch base more about your bidding and your estimating experience. So with that, can you walk me through your experience specifically with the bids or the estimating? Tell me a little bit about that.
So, for example, the way that we handle bids is that the city would put out a certain project that they wanted to work on. If that aligned with the company, which was, construction, cleaning, as well as pipe cleaning, we will go through the entire bid proposal that we were given and to see if there were any addenda, check any single um, um, my apologies, to check every single aspect of the project that we could fulfill. And if we couldn't fulfill it, it was our job to also find any secondary companies that we could subcontract to ensure that the project was completed with all aspects. So my job will be to go through the entire bid. Sometimes it will be a 200-page document to make sure that every addenda was covered, that the bid bond was provided, that the insurance was provided, and as well as any parts that were for subcontracting were also ensured with a company that was of our liking, that we know had great experience, as well as dependable workers.
That was very well said. And of course, I can only imagine with bidding, there's a lot of aspects that come to play with that. But with that, how do you determine pricing like strategies when preparing for an estimate? How do you determine the pricing for that and the
Absolutely.
strategy?
So in that part, I work very closely with our estimator. They would look at everything that was needed for the project. And, we had a price line for every single thing that we offered, like CCTV, as well as geopolymer, and everything that was provided. We will be able to see if we could provide the best prices possible. And once we provided the best prices possible and the project was of a large scale, it helped us be at the top of the bidding process.
Yeah. And you're speaking about the bidding process. Tell me a little bit about your process for preparing a bid from start to finish?
So every time we got a bid document, we will have to go through the entire bid, reading to make sure that everything that was provided. For example, some require a bid bond of a 5% or a 10%. So I would go through and ensure that the bid bond was provided, the addendums were met, and they will also need a history of our previous work experience with other projects of a similar magnitude. So I would also prepare all of our historical contracts that we have fulfilled, as well as with the employees that were involved, providing resumes, providing certifications. Once the whole package was provided, as well as with the prices, we put it together and we submitted it to the city, either via online or in person. You know, that is also in the document that they provide with the, which is basically the bid. They will let us know they has to be submitted by, for example, January 29th at 1 p.m. through City Hall. And if everything wasn't read thoroughly, then we would lose out on the bid because some a small step was not followed. So we would have to make sure that every single step was accounted for.
Yeah, thank you for giving me insight as far as the process. Dante, tell me what makes you stand out? What skills you have that makes you stand out compared to other candidates?
I think my best is leadership. Ever since I was in high school, college, I always double down and trying to learn new skills. I find myself to be very well equipped for leadership, and that's something that has been with me since I entered into the workforce. I always try to take command and work with a team so that all of us would grow at the same time. And that showed to me that it made massive improvements towards every company that I was working with. They always, every company that I work with, they always want to see a leader, somebody to take action, somebody to take initiative. A leader's main thing, a lot of times, will be taking initiative to learn, taking initiative to handle other projects. For example, with the company Field Services, even though I handle usually the proposals, I also help with accounts receivable when necessary every time the company went through a restructure or accounts payable. So I like to be able to be dependable and to show that I'm taking the initiative for the company to grow and for myself to be a better leader, to learn new skills.
Absolutely. That was amazing. It definitely seems as though you again are very passionate and you pour your heart into whatever you put your hands onto nonetheless. You seem as though you take initiative and you master your craft. So you master whatever role that you're in. And that reflects as far as your positions. So again, thank you for giving me that clear aspect as far as what your professional experience is and what you are looking to get out of this next role. So Dante, when are you looking to start a new job?
So right now, no, we have a secondary interview to do, and I would definitely like to be able to do that as soon as possible so that I can crush it as usual. That's what I always set out to do.
That's
I
right.
definitely would like within the normal 2 week standard beginning. If that is possible for the company, I would definitely love that. If they need somebody to start sooner, I could definitely work my schedule around to be able to adapt and be able to start with the company sooner if necessary.
Well, that's perfect. I appreciate you letting me know the timeline. Well, Dante, once again, it's been a pleasure speaking to you thus far. I greatly appreciate your time. But don't hang up on me. I want to continue chatting with you. Just let me go ahead and start the recording.
Sounds great. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.